Monday week 2 May 2001, WCW Nitro live from the Kentucky Alumni Gymnasium, 2,627 people in attendance. This is episode 3 of Rewriting History with WCW Lives. And we get things off with the Rock and Roll Express, picking up of it, losing in the pre-show to Mark Jindrak and Sean Stasiak. We brought back in the Rock and Roll Express, just giving them almost to be a sort of babyface jobber tag team, because they're very good in the ring. Everyone knows that. They still are to this day, somehow. In 2001, they're past their peak, but they've got enough popularity to help put people over. So, Jindrak and Stasiak pick up a good win here, 47 rating. And we kick off our main show with the first big entrance of Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid. He's finally defected to WCW. And he cuts a promo talking about how, almost an invasion style promo, that he is here because WCW has faltered. We now look at people like Booker T and think, world champion? Where did that come from? Booker T is a mid-card. He was a tag team guy. Shawn Michaels is a world champion. Obviously, the point of this promo is the hypocrisy that Shawn Michaels also started out in a tag team. Gets an 86 rating, brings out Booker T, and they have a bit of a brawl to the back. Shawn Michaels is in WCW, and we're going to make use of the ratings he brings. Opening match of the cards is an 8-man cruiserweight tag, as Tiger Mask Satoru Sayama, Yoshihiro Tajiri, and the Young Dragons of Kazuyashi and Yang take on the team of Blitzkrieg, Avon Courageous, Kid Romeo, and Shannon Moore. And it's Tiger Mask who picks up the victory when he makes Blitzkrieg tap out. Gets a 43 rating, not too shabby. Fit Finlay comes out, because of course in the last episode we promised Finlay would be facing a mystery opponent, and Finlay comes out and says, no matter who it is, everyone falls when they face Finlay. Finlay is the gatekeeper. If you can't get past Finlay, you do not belong here. And very few can get past Finlay. Gets a 43 rating. Builds up the hype for this big reveal of who it is. And it is Rob Van Dam. And he has a good competitive match with Finlay. Picks up the win though with the 5-star frog splash. Gets a 53 overall, 55 for RVD, and a 48 for Fit Finlay. As I said, Finlay is going to be taking on this almost like gatekeeper role, similar to we had in like 2007 in WWF. We're just doing it in 2001 WCW. 53 rating though, not too shabby. DDP talks about the United States title tournament and says he is ready to return to being a champion in WCW. Representing the past and the future coming together. Gets a 69 rating. Nice. Then the cruiserweights come out. Put on a good bit of high spot matches. And it's Psychosis who picks up the win, pinning Shane Helms with the guillotine leg drop. And Psychosis is the new cruiserweight champion. Great stuff. Gets a 50 rating. Psychosis has got good getting better as his gimmick, which is handy. 43 for Psychosis, 48 for Helms. Gives us more flexibility with Lucha Libre style. And a babyface champion at the moment, I think, is the right way to go. 50 rating. Jerry Lawler comes out as an interviewer. King's Court. He might step on commentary at some point, but right now we're just going to use him as an in-ring interviewer. And so basically, what this interview does, it brings out Sabu, the hardcore champion. And Sabu announces that from next week onwards, every single show, whether that be Nitro, if we ever bring back Thunder or Saturday Night, and pay-per-views, he's going to be holding a hardcore open challenge for anyone to come and face him in a hardcore match. No rules, no countouts, falls count anywhere for the hardcore title. And that's going to happen every single week from next week onwards. Gets a 79 rating, not too shabby. And we got our first match in the United States tournament. And it's Mike Awesome versus Jim Duggan. Awesome picks up the win here quite quickly, 6:45 with the Awesome Bomb. As I said, we're trying to build up the reputation of Mike Awesome. Tournament is absolutely going to be beneficial for him. 52 rating isn't great, but it's a squash match at the end of the day. And Mike Awesome advances in the tournament to face, well, I'll reveal who he's facing later on. We get a backstage segment with the Magnificent Seven. They were all arguing because both Flair and Scott Steiner lost their big matches last night. So there was no victories for the Magnificent Seven last night. And they're not happy with that. Why did nobody come out to help them? Why was there no support? Buff Bagwell says, he's got his match later tonight. He wants the Magnificent Seven to be supporting him. They need to stand together or they're going to crumble. Gets a 71 rating. Which leads directly into Buff Bagwell's match, which Dustin Rhodes picks up the win, pinning Buff Bagwell in 12:27 with a flying lariat after Lex Luger accidentally hits Bagwell. This dissolution of the Magnificent Seven is gonna happen. Because also, it's a relic of the old days. I often think of the Magnificent Seven, whilst it was an improvement on 2000, it's a stigmatization of the bad days of WCW. Luger hits Bagwell, not great, 69, nice. And we get Kevin Nash and bumping into Shawn Michaels backstage. They're like, oh my god, that's all friendly, and they soon start disagreeing about the state of WCW. Kevin Nash, being the babyface, likes WCW at the moment, which is weird for the former NWO person. Gets a 71 rating. And now, Schiavone and Tenay, as they're not the main two on commentary anymore, with it being Joey Styles and Bobby Heenan, these two are going to be doing our rundowns for us. They're going to be doing our analysis, similar to how Tony Schiavone and Eric Bischoff used to be in the early days of WCW. And this is the card for next week. In the United States Championship Tournament, we have got Canyon taking on Norman Smiley, and Disco Inferno taking on Billy Kidman, one half of the Cruiserweight Tag Team Champions. Sabu will be starting his Hardcore Open Challenge. Anyone can answer that. From the #1 contendership for the Cruiserweight title, Rey Mysterio Jr. will be taking on Satoru Sayama, the Tiger Mask. And our main event next week will be Kevin Nash versus Shawn Michaels in Shawn Michaels' in-ring debut for World Championship Wrestling. He's never wrestled here before. This is his first ever match. Gets a 43 rating. And that's also a teaser for what the next episode is going to be. And the main event, Shane Douglas versus DDP. And Douglas picks up the win. Pinning DDP with a pile driver, gets a 71 rating. Not too shabby. We need to sort out the Shane Douglas Tori Wilson stuff. I'll probably sort that out before the next episode. Probably. I always forget stuff like that. I say stuff in these episodes, and the next episode I'm like, oh yeah, I said it. I thought I'd do that. I didn't. DDP, though, 74. Douglas, a 56. Douglas picks up the win as part of our youth initiative. But DDP is strong. DDP is still absolutely a great hand to have around. I just don't see him in any of the singles title pictures at the moment. He may get involved in some title pictures. Not right yet. 71 rating, ends the show with a 73. Increases our popularity in 10 regions. Segment of the night goes to Shawn and Booker T. Weakest segment was Finley's promo, the multi-cruiserweight match, or the commentators talking. Which, you know what? I'm not too upset about any of those. They're all above 40. No awful segments, which is great news. But what did you guys think? That's what's important to me. Let me know in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.